It will be on Daybreak. Pretty nice map. In general for ZVP, I think Z's or Zergs really like this map just because it's so far away. The rush distances are to a point where I don't think they're as effective for Protoss. And the main reason for that is because scouting is pretty nice. Like, you can just put Zerglings in key areas and always catch that initial probe. So if they do go to pressure up, it's telegraphed. You know it's coming because with control of the watchtower and then just taking a couple of lanes right here, you can basically shut down, or just this bottom lane actually, you can shut down any scouting abilities or any proxy pylons very easily.
Yeah, and at the same time, we did manage to pick Idra and Morrow's brain a little bit of why they like Daybreak so much. It's because there's also alternate paths to your opponent without making it too messy and too clogged. I mean, even though, you know, because there is the center expansion or center path if you choose to take out the destructible rocks. There's the north and southern avenues as well. So that just gives Zerg a little bit more options. Also, it gives, you know, it gives a little bit of advantage to people who do diligent scouting and positioning with things like that's why you'll see multiple observers sometimes on that Daybreak. So we see WhiteRa, he is scouting after putting a pylon on the low ground. Of course, he scouts no gas, and the way WhiteRa has been playing his quote forge fast expanse, he's been going Nexus first before any kind of forge, and looks like he's gearing up to do that already. And I like that, you know, just being able to be getting up your economy very strong for the mid game.
What a bold way to play. Now, Daybreak obviously is super long, but still to be going such a late forge. This is
yeah, he had 450 minerals.
Forge.
Yeah.
A 17 forge. That's crazy. There it is. He will put down the Nexus and the forge at the same time. Probably a gateway right after this, and then he starts putting down cannons. That's how I would say greedy he is in this beginning stage. But if you can get your Nexus out safely like this, then I would do it every single time. Having this Nexus out here gives him the Chrono Boost, which obviously just supercharges his economy. He can start making probes so fast, and that's probably one of the most important things in a match like PvE.
Yep. And it's really important for WhiteRa to keep the attention of Morrow away from his base. It's going to be quite some, it was quite a bit of time before the cannon was able to get up, and Morrow saw that with his overlord saying, whoa, the cannon is very, very late. And you can see that he had an opportunity, of course, but Morrow not playing too greedy himself. He's going to try to see if he can get that third hatchery uninhibited, and he does. And Daybreak, a map that's very good also for that super fast max off Roach style that we've been iterating non-stop at NASL. And Morrow also saying that he's been practicing that kind of style a little bit as well. So maybe we can see him pull it out a little bit as he is going for those relatively fast hatcheries.
Well, I think the advantage right now, no, I wouldn't even say it. I'm going to retract that. I was going to say Morrow is in a really comfortable position. Normally these hatcheries don't go down uninhibited, but by them being placed this early, it makes it alarmingly difficult for WhiteRa to take his third base. Now that sounds super into, you know, foresight and everything, and just a big assumption on things, but normally WhiteRa doesn't want to be pressuring. As we said, there's a very few builds that actually work on this map off of two base. You want to be taking your third base some greedy way. And with Morrow being able to place all three of his hatcheries, he actually gets his drones like maximum speed. And with that, he is able to hit at a timing where Protosses feel so uncomfortable. They're like expanding and they're teching to something that deals with mass roaches just there.
Oh.
So I feel like Morrow is in a good position for the map.
No, yeah, that's a good point. And you can tell that WhiteRa wanted to go for that third base as well, based off the current movement of his probe. Zergling spots in. Morrow has a pretty good idea as well. Morrow also being very cautious to scout other gas timings. WhiteRa has been on one gas this entire time, limiting a lot of his tech options. And it's just very interesting because normally you see double gas from Protoss, maybe even triple gas, go for Twilight Council or Stargate of some sort, maybe even a fast robo if you want to get Immortals and Observer out.
I think it's because he wants to take this one Nexus all the way over.
Yeah, but
he's just been gearing himself to just be optimized to have that excess minerals, you know? That's why he's like, okay, I don't have to worry about anything else. I don't even see a ton of gateways being put down. Now, finally, this one Zergling will be cleaned up. I like what we're seeing. Ooh, Zealot harassed.
Yeah, the Zealot is poking at the third, just forcing a little bit more lings, and not the best position, but still good enough to pick off a couple Zerglings. Now Morrow, his speed is going to finish up. And it's interesting because if you were going to go for the max Roach at 11, 12, 13 minutes, you would go for the first 100 gas in the lair, but he's going for speed and then starting to get other gases. Do you think Morrow's going to pull out more mutas again here on Daybreak?
It's very possible, but I think that was a response to how he thinks WhiteRa likes to play. WhiteRa does this type of style all over the place. He loves to get super fast thirds or play it a little bit riskier just to get that economic boost, and he's able to really do a lot of damage. Getting metabolic boost this fast is not normal, even if you're going mutas. So right now he's saying, I want to have very relevant Zerglings. What is he going to do with them? Well, he can do a lot of damage with pressure, just forcing his opponent to be a little bit more conscious of these run-bys, or even, oh my god.
Oh, the Zerglings do get a surround on the outside Zealot. And Morrow is forcing a lot more units here. He's going to try to see if he can run by as well. And will WhiteRa get back in time? He will. It's a very, very big key play, but the third is also pretty exposed other than one cannon, and he's not able to protect it, although Morrow trying to see if he can go on the outskirts. I thought he was going to try to see if he could pick off the next from a weird angle, but does see the third very easily. And
these.
Oh,
double robotics facility. That's pretty huge.
Yeah.
That's what I was oh-godding about. And it looks like it will be a variation of what Demaga likes to do. This is a Zergling, well, mass Zergling and a double upgrades. No Baneling Nest added just yet, but oh my god, the Zealots for WhiteRa are just so truant at this point. They are so mean. Yeah, I don't know why they don't just listen. Just hold position, man.
And yeah, I mean, he's just getting out of position every single time the Zerglings get in, see everything, harassing, and this Nexus is in complete jeopardy.
Jeez.
And I feel like Morrow, he's able to really pick this off if he just focus on it. Oh, very nice. Rearranging the Zerglings to make sure the Zealots have to walk a little bit further to get it. And WhiteRa, is this Nexus going to drop? It will. Coming down to the very last Zergling.
And that sucks because now the sentries don't have energy. So those force fields are wasted, theoretically. And really, Morrow can do anything at this point. It's 2 base economy, less than 2 base economy. Income tab, 51 harvesters to 86. The third base for WhiteRa is just emerging right now, which is his old main. But he has no ability to tech pretty dynamically. Yes, he has double robo, but you don't have the economy to actually sustain this.
Yeah, he can't really do much. But let's look again back at what just happened between WhiteRa and Morrow. Now the big thing is that Morrow, again, look at this. He rearranged his Zerglings because he saw the Warpin on the left side and then immediately targeted down. It was a close call. And don't let anyone say that there's no such thing as one Zergling that doesn't matter, as it came down to the very last hit.
We're back in game now, where Morrow is just continuing to make additional Zerglings. I like where we're at. And he is teching to Spire, so you're absolutely right, Frodan. Spire tech is inbound. Now I do want to mention that this double robotics facility build has been mitigated a little bit just on the fact that it's Zergling, Baneling, Spire.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And
I mean, Immortals don't do nearly as well as, let's say, Colossus. And it just takes 2 Immortals to buy a Colossus, or 3 Immortals to buy 2 Colossus. Close to
somewhere around there. There's a lot of minerals, but the point is, Immortals are a big investment, and their composition directed as specific composition from your opponent.
Which are roaches, of course.
Yeah. And so WhiteRa won't necessarily have the best composition. Now Blink is really important also for his Stalkers, but it's also kind of dangerous too, because if you ever get out of position, sure, your Stalkers will blink back, but then all your Sentries, Zealots, and Mortals also get surrounded. So Morrow has a pretty good thing going for him right now. His 4th base is pretty easy to get as well. You see a lot of upgrades in production, Baneling speed, +1. And he's not getting dropped. We thought originally, if he's going to go for that full Demaga style, he would get drops at least, but he's not going to go. He's just going to go for it anyways.
And units are terribly out of position. There's the force fields to actually stop a lot of this, but he kills the sentries, and he doesn't have any more incoming sentries. The Zerglings are going to go all the way around to the left-hand side. I don't think that he can get in but still a lot of damage has been done, killing those sentries, empower the Zerglings, and now they will be able to do a combination attack against the big army of WhiteRa.
And WhiteRa stirs under a huge amount of pressure. The Zerglings finally find access. Now he's funneling them, not really paying attention because they are going to one cannon, but the main is also being assaulted, and Blink is not finished. Oh man, imagine if the Blink was being targeted by Morrow. How clutch would that be? But for now, Morrow is playing very beautifully, pulling WhiteRa to and fro, trying to make sure that he can never be comfortable enough to mass. And you can tell, you know, WhiteRa has been on 3 base for a while, but still only on 55 probes because of how many workers Morrow's been able to kill.
And what does he have to do against this? Oh my goodness.
He's got no sentries.
So many Banelings.
He's got no sentries.
Yeah,
that's what's so cool about this.
You need sentries against this style. And we're not going to see anything too nice. I mean, no AoE. Dark Templars are inbound. Okay, Dark Templars help out a lot if he makes Archons.
If he makes Archons, but he might not have the opportunity to. The Dark Templar for now are just acting as a filter for the Zerglings, but he gets a full surround. Morrow completely crushing the initial army, and WhiteRa only has a few Stalkers left to tell the tale. More Dark Templars are warping in immediately and trying to aid of the onslaught of Protoss. You see that WhiteRa going to his high ground, but he's only got 1 Stalker left and 3 Zealots, and that is not enough to hold it off. GG, well played. Morrow takes game number 3 and the series.
Very impressive play. WhiteRa unfortunately falls victim to the Zealot that does not like to listen. And he loses his Nexus for it.
Scumbag
Actually,
Zealot.
Seriously.
You pay him his wages and he does not listen
that's
to
what
you.
he is. But, you know, I don't know if that one area was actually big enough to stop all those Zerglings. It might have needed
one Zealot
to. Yeah.
have plugged it?
I'm not sure. I have to go back into the replay and look at it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously still it's a problem. The Zergling run by. It was just straight up Zerglings. You are not supposed to die to that. I think Morrow actually missed his timing. He wants to kill the Nexus before any of that SimCity actually gets established. That's the reason why you get the metabolic boost so early. You're anticipating your opponent doing something like an 8-minute Nexus. But once Morrow kills his opponent's main, what can you really do from there? You're so far behind. Your economy is behind. The development of your units are behind. You wasted Sentry Force Fields. You have no imminent threat. Or you can't, as the Protoss, you can't do anything to threaten your opponent. So they're just like, I will take my expansions. I will do anything I want to. I won't make any spine crawlers, and I will win the game.
And Morrow takes the series, getting revenge onto WhiteRa after losing the past few series at the IEM World Championships and the SC Reddit tournament. Guys, that game and series was brought to you by Kingston HyperX, the company providing lots of great SSD and memory. Check them out at kingston.com. We'll be back with more action from Division 5 as well as a cool segment. Don't go anywhere. NASL Season 3, day number whatever. This is day number 20, actually, is just getting underway.